And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome here to Rockingham, North Carolina, also known as North Carolina Speedway, here in Rockingham, North Carolina. Old historic track with a lot of history, and we're getting ready here for the running of the Subway 400. This is race number 15 of Season 8 of the Snickers Cup Series, which means after today's event, only 5 more races stand between us and this season's chase for the championship, with the whole new format of the fact that you basically have to win to get in. And coming into this race, Jessica Shelton has already done that. She won at Talladega Superspeedway earlier on this season, but she'd love to be able to secure herself a spot like Trent Dunham and Sean Galligan have been able to do by picking up her second win of the season. She's had pretty good runs here. She had a great run in the Truck Series race and a pretty decent finish in Mobile and Cup Series competition, and she'll try and pick up the win here today at Rockingham, North Carolina Speedway. Alongside of her is going to be Chris Washer. Washer has actually had 2 really good finishes here. He finished top 5 in the Truck Series race and top 10 in the Mobile Cup Series race, but he has yet to go to victory lane in the Snickers Cup Series event here in Season 8. He was a 2-time winner last season. This season, he and 2-time winner last season, Ian Dutta, his teammate for Uper Motorsports, have yet to go to victory lane. We'll see if maybe he can get a good consistent finish here again today. Coming into this race, Washer is 31st in the points. Anthony McCrory comes into this race 8th in the point standings. Now, if this were the old format, McCrory would be sitting in a good spot right now, but due to the fact that it's the new format where you have to win to get into the chase, McCrory really needs to get to victory lane. Got himself a good spot here today, and he'll start off alongside of the Season 1 Snickers Cup Series champion, Dougie Shears. Shears comes into this race currently sitting in the 17th position. He also looking to go to victory lane for the first time here today. Let's get these cars rolling off. As they do, we'll give you the points coming into this race. Sean Galligan is still the points leader regardless of his poor finish last week at M&M's. He holds a 10-point advantage over Trent Dunham now. James McLeod is 3rd in points over Ralph Mason 4th. Our winner last week, Sean Henley, has now moved up to 5th as he may have secured himself a spot in the chase for the championship with his win last week. Charles Sanford, Harrison Langford, Anthony McCurry, Danny Wells, and Ashley LaPlante all trying to go to victory lane for the first time this season. They are 6th through 10th coming into the points. And just to kind of give you an overview of winners this season, only 3 winners this season come in the top 10 in points. Actually, only 3 winners come in the top 14 in points, and those are Trent Dunham, Sean Galligan, and Sean Henley. Here we go, though. Pace car peels off. We're ready to turn them loose. Jessica Shelton going to bring us down here for the Subway 400. 59 laps of racing, and we're underway here at Rockingham. And McCurry already taking a little look to the inside as he'll try and get to the point. And oh, James Qualls just got turned. He just got flat out turned. I think that might have been by Trent Dunham. And that's going to be a caution, is it? No, it's not a caution. And this area has been very strange here this weekend. Sometimes they'll throw cautions for wrecks there on the back straightaway, and sometimes they won't. But you'll see the smoke lingering here coming out of 2. There you see it. Big smoke screen coming down the back straightaway. You got to think that's some kind of a visibility problem for these drivers. But Shelton able to pull away by about 3-4 car lengths. Now it's about 5 car lengths between herself and Anthony McCurry. Battle on for 3rd. Makoto Iguchi under fire from Dougie Shears. Still that smoke screen lingering there in the corner of turn number 2, down halfway down that back straightaway. Shears now will move into the 3rd position. So 2 of the Michael Norman Motorsports cars running 1st and 3rd at the current moment. And let's see if we can actually pinpoint who those drivers were that were involved. There is Qualls coming to pit road. There is Trent Dunham damaged. So I was correct in who I assumed was involved. James Qualls, 38th in points, just been looking for some kind of break. Is not able to find it here as his good buddy Trent Dunham turns him. And Trent was trying to run down Sean Galligan for the points lead, and don't look like that's going to happen as his Juicy Fruit Sega number 1 is badly damaged. I saw some contact up ahead of him. Oh, Kyle Corbett's on pit road. He might have been collected as well. 56. So drivers making some pit stops there. Corbett and Qualls. Corbett's been having a struggling season too, 37th in points, so that really is going to kill the 56 and the 70. As Corbett's going to come back out into traffic, right up between second place Dougie Shears and third place Anthony McCrory. He actually moved Shears up the racetrack, and that's going to allow McCrory to close in here in a possible battle for second. Here comes Charles Jackson to the inside line. Charles has actually had some good runs here this past week, running the new Skittles paint scheme on his 54 out of Gibbs Waltrip Mayonnaise Racing. Charles Jackson, a former Snickers Cup Series champion in his own right, ended up winning the championship back in Season 6. But right now, Charles Jackson comes into this race 14th in points, but he needs that win to get himself into the championship hunt, as he's going to lose a spot to last week's winner, Sean Henley. He's going to try and maybe pick up his second win, back-to-back wins if he could, and secure himself a spot in the chase for the championship. Right now, as it stands, 2 of the Tweenix cars are locked into the chase for the championship at the current moment, as the points stand. That would be Sean Henley and his teammate Dylan Poteet, who went to victory lane back at Dover. Meanwhile, up at the front, Dougie Shears trying to run down Michael Norman Motorsports teammate Jessica Shelton, who has not looked back since taking the lead after starting on the pole at the very start of this race. And I heard some more drivers on pit road, I thought. It might have been, oh, that's Joshua Balkowitz in the 91. Now, why is he on pit road? Is this some possible short pitting strategy on the part of the 91? No damage on his machine. I think he may be rolling the dice. And look at this. This is not a battle for the lead. This is a battle, I think, to get at least 1 lap back. Where is Corbett? 2 laps down. So this is to get 1 lap down. And Corbett will do it. The fresher tire is going to move him by. He is now only 1 lap down to the leaders. Trent Dunham has somehow managed to stay on the lead lap. We saw Balkowitz on pit road. Not certain why he hit the pit lane, but he's now 2 laps down. And James Qualls, who got turned by Trent Dunham near the very start of this race, but it did not bring out a caution. He is also 2 laps down to the leaders. And Trent Dunham, I think, actually is only about maybe half a straightaway ahead of this raging battle for the lead now, as Dougie Shears has caught Jessica Shelton, and the 2 teammates from M&M are going to go at it. Shelton's already been to victory lane this season, may have a spot in the chase locked up. Dougie Shears, though, has not. And so when you come down to it, who wants it more? You'd have to assume the 21. And here he comes to the bottom to look for the top position. Again, I thought I heard more drivers pitting. I may be just hearing things, but it keeps sounding to me like drivers are pitting. And Dougie Shears will clear Jessica Shelton and move the 21 Avenged Sevenfold Chevrolet to the lead. And Shelton had to go way wide in that corner too and loses a lot of ground coming out of turn 4. McCrory now in third, and he's about to maybe get a little bit of a challenge for that spot. Sean Henley beginning to close the gap up between himself and the Monster Energy Audi. And there's Charles Jackson as well. And we talked about Uper Motorsports not having very good runs the past few weeks. Ian Dutta now up here in the 6th position. Michael Norman trying to fight him for that spot, so 3 of the M&M cars are now up inside of the top 10. 8th place, Harrison Langford. That's 7th in points coming into this race. And we talked about the hardship that Trent Dunn's been having. Well, Sean Galligan capitalizing on that. He's now in the 10th position, right behind Levi McIntyre in the 60. Move back up to the front, see if there's any development. Not really. Dougie Shears about maybe 6-7 car lengths ahead of teammate Jessica Shelton. And then there's quite a ways back here to Anthony McCrory. The gap between himself and Sean Henley is slowly closing, though, so we may actually want to watch this battle, as Michael Norman, I believe, just got around Ian Dutta. That was for the 6th position. And now, this could change it. Thought it was going to be a battle for 3rd. It could actually be a battle for 4th. And oh my goodness gracious. James Qualls just sideswiped the 57 of Henley. And how they didn't wreck, I'm not exactly sure. But that was quite a save. And I think Qualls is going for more. Qualls trying to get himself back on at least 1 lap down. He's got fresher rubber than these guys do. And now he's going to go underneath of Anthony McCurry. This is not for position. Qualls is currently running dead last, 2 laps down. But he's trying to make his way to the front to get himself only 1 lap down to the leaders. And he's obviously faster than these guys because of that fresh rubber. And so this maybe could pose a question. Was that wreck a possible blessing in disguise for James Qualls? Because if he's able to now be within the fuel window of only having to make it on 2 pit stops, things, who knows, the way the laps are here today with 59 laps, that's a rather uneven number of laps to be running. Would that cycle the pit stops in favor of Qualls maybe coming all the way around and winning the race? Just a little food for thought. Speaking of race, this race is going quickly. We're already up to lap 21, more than a third of the way through this race. We've had no caution flag, even though this race has not been without incident. Trent Dunham and James Qualls have gotten together. We had Kyle Corbett, I believe, getting a piece of it, and Joshua Balkowitz made some kind of an unscheduled pit stop as well. As there you see, James Qualls is now only 1 lap down to the leaders, doing it the hard way as he races his way past leader Dougie Shears, and he's now only 1 lap down. Change for 3rd. Sean Henley has gotten around Anthony McCurry. Change for 5th. Michael Norman has gotten around Charles Jackson. And Jackson may actually be pitting. He is. So too is Henley, and so too is McCurry, and so is Jessica Shelton. Harrison Langford is also in, and I believe Ian Dutta is also coming into pit road this lap. So they're having to pit here on lap 23. They're going to have to pit at least 1 more time, if not, maybe a 3rd time. So we'll jump up here, see when the leader Dougie Shears is going to be coming to his pit stall, and he's coming in this lap. He was the leader after this cycle of pit stops started. Will he be the leader when this cycle of pit stops ends? Charles Jackson now leaving his pit stall. As Dougie Shears comes down, he'll pull into his pit stall, up close towards the front of the field, pit stall number 4. They're going to go with the full 4-tire stop. Why wouldn't you? This thing has kind of gone into an extremely long green flag run. And now Dougie Shears is down and away, and he actually is going to get out ahead of Jacob Lawler. Where was Lawler running? 26. That may have caught him a lap down. This cycle of pit stops may end up putting several drivers a lap down. I don't know. But I believe Dougie Shears is going to get out as the leader. I think McCurry is in 2nd. We're going to wait a couple of laps here for the cycle of pit stops to completely cycle around before we give you a full field rundown. Makoto Iguchi just completed her service. She's now coming back out on track. And they're still showing Dougie Shears as the leader. So I believe he is still out in front after the cycle of green flag pit stops here between laps 22 and 24. And indeed that is the case. He is the leader. 2nd place is Anthony McCurry. 3rd place is going to be Sean Henley. I'm going to wait till they get past that pace car. Charles Jackson is 4th. Shelton now back to 5th. 6th place is Harrison Langford. Ralph Mason 8th. 9th place is going to be Michael Norman. And then you got Dylan Young. He's actually a lap down. John Cittadino is now in 8th. Norman back to 9th. And completing the top 10 is going to be Ian Dutta. James McLeod, who had that heartbreak in the Moblin Cup Series race, it looked like he was going to win. And then on the final lap, the final turn, he pulls to pit road. More heartbreak for him today. He's caught a lap down after these pit stops. He, Lawler, Dylan Young, a lot of big names getting caught a lap down. Galligan is in 11th. Canepa's now caught a lap down. 12th place, I believe, is Cody Lamas. Nope, he's a lap down. So Danny Wells moves to 12th. 13th will be Cole Daly. 14th, Noah Hart. 15th, Kyle Matthews. Joshua Michaels now in 16th. Levi McIntyre, I believe, is going to be 17th. 18th place, I believe, is Megan Atkins. The rest of the top 20 are going to be Ashley LaPlante and Joshua Collard. So we cycle back through here. Looking back through about 30th position. Actually, that's the last car on the lead lap you're looking at right there. Makoto Iguchi. And there's the leader, Dougie Shears, going to try and put some of these guys a lap down. So this has changed a lot as this long green flag run. A lot of drivers caught a lap down. Now Dougie Shears goes to work. Puts Makoto Iguchi a lap down. And Joshua Balkowitz another lap down. Next car in sight for him will be the 03 of Charles Samper, and then the Audi of rookie Tanner Sullivan. It's been a clinic put on here since the cycle of pit stops by one Dougie Shears. You gotta go a long ways back past a few lap cars before you get to second place. Anthony McCurry, he's got 3 lap cars between himself and the leader Dougie Shears, including Jacob Lawler and Makoto Iguchi, 2 drivers who have been to victory lane this season. Makoto winning at Daytona, Lawler winning at Tres Riberas. And now if you're Dougie Shears, how aggressive do you want to be right now? You got a lot of distance between yourself and second place McCurry. And you got lots of lap cars around you that could very well race you super hard to try and stay on the tail end of the lead lap or to get themselves back onto the lead lap. So if I'm Dougie, I think I would prefer to just ride around as whoa. They're all going to try and get around the slower damaged machine of James Qualls. And that actually brings Dougie Shears right up to the back bumper of Charles Samper. Now Samper and Tanner Sullivan going to make a bit of a wall here for Dougie Shears to have to try and make his way through, and he's going to go 3 wide on him. So they made the wall. Dougie Shears found the key to fit into the lock, and now he has put Tanner Sullivan a lap down, and now is going to work on Charles Samper to put him off the lead lap. He has now cleared him. Charles Samper is now the first car 1 lap down. Now Makoto Iguchi is, as that actually is for position between the 9 and the 03. Next car that Dougie Shears would encounter would be the already lap down machine of Trent Dunham. At least I believe Trent Dunham is a lap down. Let me just check to make sure. No, he's still on the lead lap, is Trent. He's 26th. Whoa! Close quarter racing there. Makoto Iguchi almost sliding the grill of the 9 around that rear bumper of the 21. That could have been some contact there, and that could have really been bad for Dougie Shears, who now actually has another lap car in between himself and McCurry. Kyle Corbett is now in between the 21 and the 61. So right now, barring any problems, Dougie Shears looks like he could be en route to his first win of the season. It's been quite a while since Dougie Shears has been to victory lane. And he'd love to have it happen here today as Makoto Iguchi continues to try and fight to get back on the tail end of the lead lap, not giving Dougie Shears any peace whatsoever. Here comes Makoto again, trying to get to the inside of that left rear, and I believe Makoto has actually now gotten to the inside. So this is a battle to try and get back on the tail end of the lead lap, and the Chex Mix number 9 is going to do it. Now Charles Samper gets a run. He wants to get back on the lead lap. And Kyle Corbett apparently had just recently made a pit stop because he is much faster than these other guys, has fresher rubber. He made very quick work. Whoa, look out! Oh, what a save! Dougie Shears just got turned by the lap machine of Charles Samper, but now he's got left side damage. But he still opens up his distance. He still keeps a distance between himself and second place McCurry. But all that ground he gained, he just lost right there. But what a save! Wow! But you gotta wonder how badly did he hit that safer barrier there on the front straightaway. Dougie Shears with one of the most unbelievable saves you'll ever see. But, oh no, I don't know how bad that damage is going to affect his speed. It obviously killed his momentum, but it looks like the gap between himself and McCurry now may be able to be closing. If that's the case, we'll have heartbreak for the second straight day here at Rockingham. You've heard of the term Heart of Stone. Well, we're at the Rock, and I think this track has a heart of stone. I mean, good grief. Yesterday, James McLeod, en route to win the race, comes to pit road out of the final corner on the final lap, hands the win over literally to Jake Rogers. Here today, Dougie Shears, after the green flag pit stop cycle, dominating, lapping cars, opening a huge distance between himself and second place, gets turned by a lap machine, hits the inside wall in the front straightaway, separating the racetrack from pit road, and now, on lap 43, he's got company for the lead in the form of the Audi of Anthony McCrory. I think there may be a little conversation between Dougie Shears and Charles Sanford, but right now the conversation is between Dougie Shears and Anthony McCrory, because McCrory is going to take away the lead and potential win from Dougie Shears. There's basically no question about it. Dougie Shears had this race in the bag. He was dominating this thing. He had a huge gap. Even if this thing ended up going under caution, he'd have had those lap cars between himself and Anthony McCrory. But now McCrory, thanks to the lap machine of Charles Sanford, is now going to be out in front leading this race. Audi has been to victory lane 3 times in NNSCRA history, and now McCrory takes the opportunity to pit. He's coming to pit lane. Cittadino is coming to pit lane. So is Mason, Jackson, and Shelton. And look who is interestingly deciding to stay out. Dougie Shears. Is it possible for him to get redemption for what just happened? He'll undoubtedly be coming to pit road this time. If they can get a fast enough pit stop, get that damage repaired quickly enough, he could still have a shot, as I believe Ian Dutta just stayed out. He is now the leader after this thing cycles around. And oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. He just bailed out of the throttle. I thought he might be out of fuel. So he'll stay out and lead a lap here. I think Norman also stayed out. So those two... Whoa! Careful there. Norman trying to get to pit road. Balkowitz wasn't going to pit road, and he almost sideswiped the 3. And I believe these are the last of the leaders to pit. Bob Jones in, James Silverfox in. So we'll follow the Ian Dutta machine. Whoa, has to slow down for Sean Galligan. That could cost him. We're going to be looking for basically our top players here. We'll be watching for Dougie Shears, Anthony McCrory, Ian Dutta, who we're looking at right now, Charles Jackson, Jessica Shelton, all those drivers that have been running up at the front. And Dutta is now down and away. Where's McCrory at? He's already gone by Dutta. And did anybody get out ahead of him? Doesn't look like it. I don't see Dougie Shears. Wait a minute. McCrory's still being scored in second. Did Dougie get out there? Whoa! Contact between Cody Lamas and Trent Dunham. Or was Jake Rogers the one that stayed out? No, he didn't stay out. Or did we just not get the scoring monitor to update? It didn't update. McCrory is the leader. And now he's got to deal with lap traffic. So as this thing cycles around now, McCrory's the leader. Look who's moved up to second. His Kyotech Racing teammate, the Pontiac of Ralph Mason. So Kyotech is 1-2. Then it's John Cittadino to third, Jackson in a fourth. And who is fifth? It's Shelton in fifth. Sixth place is Langford. Seventh place, Joshua Michaels. Henley in eighth. Dutta to ninth. And Cole Daly, our winner back from Thornton, is now in 10th. We have ourselves an entirely new race. Where is Dougie Shears at? I gotta find out. He is 20th, 1 lap down at least. That was the dominant car of the day right there, folks. Man, oh man. And the battle's on for the lead between teammates. Ralph Mason to the point, getting around his teammate Anthony McCrory. We haven't had a Pontiac go to victory lane in the NNSCRA Snickers Cup Series since I don't remember when. I'm not even sure we've ever had a Pontiac go to victory lane in Snickers Cup. And Ralph Mason is the leader now, his teammate right there behind him. Both these drivers have not been to victory lane yet. Which one of these two teammates wants it more? And they better hurry and decide quick, because John Cittadino's about to come up here and make it a 3-man fight for the win. And Cittadino's right there. Mason, McCrory, Citadino, those are going to be the ones to settle unless Jackson can pull off a miracle, close up that gap quickly, and then turn into a four-man fight for the win. As they come down to the stripe this next time by, it's a total of 6 laps to go. Here comes McCrory to the bottom for the lead. Not able to make it happen. Citadino now tries to get the run the high side for second. He can't make it happen. Still single file down the back straightaway. And someone just came out of pit road. I think it could have been Corbett in the 56. These drivers are steadily catching up to Chris Washer, Trent Dunham, but they may actually, with this battling amongst themselves, not catch those guys. And now here comes Citadino. He'll get to the inside of McCrory. One driver out of Citadino Ed Motorsports taking on 2 drivers from Kyotech Racing. Who's going to come out on top? The Pontiac, the Chevy, or the Audi? Here comes Citadino trying to get to the inside. Whoa, man, Mason's able to throw the block at least for now. 4 to go, as here comes Citadino to the bottom. John Citadino, who's put on a record that no one's been able to come close to. 6 wins back in Season 6 when he won the Snickers Cup Series Championship. Sorry, make that Season 5. He's trying to look for his first win of the season as now Kyotech races for second. That may not be the best strategy. 3 to go. Citadino, Mason, McCrory. These are the 3 that are going to settle it out. Charles Jackson's been trying to chip away, but he continues to still run behind these guys. Looks like he'll have to settle for 4th. As McCrory now getting help there from Jacob Lawler. Well, I said help. Now he's getting caught on the high side. That's not going to help either of the Kyotech drivers as Citadino begins to open up distance with less than 2 to go. John Citadino, former Snickers Cup Series champion, comes into this race 20th in points. McCrory comes in 8th. Mason comes in 4th. Are the Kyotech guys going to have enough time to run down Citadino and get back in this fight? White flag, 1 more to go. There's a lap car between Citadino and the Kyotech drivers. This may be it. It could be all she wrote. Citadino took on Kyotech. He's going to emerge victorious. Just got to make his way through the last 2 turns. John Citadino wants to go for his 2nd Snickers Cup Series championship. He wants to clinch himself a spot in the chase. He may have done it today as John Citadino wins here in an unbelievable race, the Subway 400 at North Carolina Speedway. And I'm not certain I'm going to have much voice left after this race. What an unbelievable event. Clean and green all the way to the end, right from the start of the race. Bumps along the road, but at the end of the day, the Expedex, number 72 in the single-car Chevy team of Citadino Ed Motorsports, goes to victory lane with John Citadino behind the wheel, and Citadino may have locked himself up a spot in the chase for the championship. And how ironic, in the past 2 weeks, we've had 2 former Snickers Cup Series champions go to victory lane. Make it the past 3 weeks. Lawler, the Season 7 champion, Henley, the Season 4 champion, and Citadino, the Season 5 champion, have all gone to victory lane in back-to-back-to-back weeks. Charles Jackson, your time may be coming up next week if the numbers are right. Holy cow. The only other 2 former champions in this series that are still running are Dougie Shears, who almost won this race but got taken out basically by a lap car of Charles Sanford, and Charles Jackson. But man, oh man, what a race. That's got to be one of the best races I've seen all season. I, without a doubt, can say that was one of the most exciting ones. Unbelievable racing here at Rockingham. Sprint Cup Series, I hope you're watching this. Bring back this track, for heaven's sakes. Man, let's take a look at the official top 10, shall we? Citadino with the win. The Kyotech drivers decided to battle amongst themselves there near the end. They'll finish 2nd and 3rd with McCrory and Mason. Charles Jackson in 4th, and 5th was the pole sitter Jessica Shelton. Langford gets 6th. Joshua Michaels, we didn't really talk much about him, but a solid run for that BMW in 7th. Henley follows up his win last week at M&M's with an 8th place finish today. Noah Hart, great run for 3 of those Kyotech drivers. 2nd, 3rd, and 9th for Noah Hart. And Ashley LaPlante continues to try and make a case for herself to still be in the top 10 in points as she'll finish out the day in 10th place. Trent Dunham encountered troubles today. We saw James McLeod get caught a lap down. Where did Galligan finish? He did finish on the lead lap in 16th place. He'll keep the points lead heading into next week's event. Man, that was exciting. Unbelievable racing. I'm not exactly sure where we're heading next week, folks. I'm trying to remember, but for some reason it's escaping me. Actually, if you'll hang on 1 minute, I'll actually look. Well, folks, I hope you're not afraid of heights, because you're going to be taking a plane ride to see the next race. We're heading over to France for road course racing at Champs-Élysées. Hope you'll be tuning in for that. That's going to be a great race. Always have a lot of fun whenever we get there. I believe the defending race winner of that event is Harrison Langford, who actually is top 10 in the point standings coming into today's race and leaving today's race as well. So keep that in mind as well. We could end up having Harrison Langford lock himself up a spot in the chase for the championship next week if he can go to victory lane in back-to-back seasons. But anyway, folks, hope you enjoyed today's race. I certainly did. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and become part of the crew today. Here comes your official full finisher results, overall points and rookie points, heading into next week at Champs-Élysées. If I'm not mistaken, I believe all other series are taking a week off. I may be incorrect, but I believe that's the case. So I hope that you guys will tune in. Hope that you follow the NNSCRA on social media, Facebook and Twitter. Links to those accounts are in the description. And we will see you guys next time. As you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA, offline racing at its best, John Citadino becomes the third straight past Snickers Cup Series champion to go to victory lane in back-to-back-to-back weeks here in the Snickers Cup Series. We'll see you guys next week in Champs-Élysées in France.